It is another warm day along the Gulf Coast. Warm and actually pretty muggy as well, but some temperature changes are on the way. I'll have more details coming up.
Plus, one Mobile citizen is sounding off on the controversial display in the front yard of the Mobile County Sheriff.
Russia says the time for talk is over as the U.S. considers sending Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. I'm Lucas Tomlinson in Washington. I've got the details coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday. Thanks for looking into Fox 10 Midday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. Starting off with your forecast here this morning. Very hot day today. It's very muggy. We had some fog out there earlier today.
That. Not really feeling like October.
No, definitely not. But we do have some change ahead. We are going to get a cold front that pushes through. We are going to get dry, nice air for the weekend.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we have to wait our turn here, essentially. This is what it looks like across the region right now. You see those temperatures in the 80s across the deep south, but look north, you see still a 69-degree reading in Nashville. And that is where we have some of the slightly cooler air. Looking at the big picture with the surface map, this is a cold front that's been drawn across the region. It is going to slowly work its way off to the south and eventually reach our area by Thursday. Look north of the front. In fact, look near the Great Lakes region. Temperature 54 degrees in Minneapolis, 62 in Chicago. So some really cool air there. In fact, quite chilly over Canada right now. For the forecast today across southeast, highs in the upper and middle 70s for places like Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, 77 Oklahoma City. But look south of the boundary, 90 in New Orleans, 88 in Mobile, 90 in Tallahassee. Then the dry air works its way in. You see all those brown colors? That is dry air. Dew points in the 40s. That lasts for Friday and Saturday and Sunday and maybe even into early next week as well. So here's how it works. Your temperatures will go into the low 80s, some folks in the upper 70s for Friday and Saturday, then moderating to the middle 80s later on in the week. Then we have forecast lows dropping into the 50s with some locations all the way down in the low 50s for Sunday morning. It could feel really quite crisp out there. So forecast change for us into the weekend. I'll have details on that and a look at the tropics coming up.
Nick, thank you. First today, lawmakers are expected to vote again in an effort to reopen the U.S. government. Analysts say the vote is likely to fail, but both Democrats and Republicans appear to be equally confident in their positions. But problems on the horizon are mounting as we speak. The shutdown signs will cause more problems the longer this goes on. And yesterday, President Trump suggested that some government employees may not be repaid for the lost time. The White House says Congress may have to sign off on back pay. Meanwhile, Democrats are holding out for an extension to a program that lowers the cost of health plans covered by the Affordable Care Act. Both sides are still blaming each other with no signs of caving in.
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are furloughed. Thousands more are working without pay. And meanwhile, House Republicans are getting paid and not working.
That said, the vote count will be very important to watch today. 3 members of the Democratic caucus have sided with Senate Republicans on this issue so far. Well, meanwhile, Russia is ruling out diplomacy and pivoting to full-on war mode as President Trump considers sending Tomahawk missiles to the Ukrainians, which could be a game changer on the front lines. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has the latest from Washington.
I get along very well with Putin, And I thought that would have been, I'm very disappointed in him.
That's a phrase the president has used more than a dozen times to criticize his Russian counterpart since their summit in Alaska. On Wednesday, the Kremlin said the feeling is mutual. A high-ranking Russian official claims the, quote, powerful momentum toward peace is now exhausted, signaling a shift away from diplomacy at a time when Putin has been touting Russian gains on the front line.
Currently, the strategic initiative remains entirely with the Russian Federation's armed forces.
The Ukrainians are increasingly taking the fight to Russia, targeting oil refineries ahead of the long Russian winter. On Wednesday, a Ukrainian attack killed at least 3 people in the Belgorod region. The Russians say this time target was a housing complex.
The damage is extensive. I need to inspect the foundations. If the building cannot be restored, then new housing will be provided.
Meanwhile, President Trump giving his strongest indication that he's considering sending intermediate-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to the Ukrainians so they can hit targets 1,500 miles away, putting Moscow within range. But the president warns it's not a done deal yet.
I've sort of made a decision, pretty much, if you consider. I think I want to find out what they're doing with them.
The Kremlin says it's asked the U.S. for clarity on the potential Tomahawk deployment, calling it a serious escalation. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
In local headlines now, a Halloween display in the front yard of Mobile County Sheriff Paul Burch is attracting a lot of attention. It shows an ice raid, complete with skeletons wearing sombreros and ponchos climbing over the fence. Now, the sheriff's wife, Michelle Burch, says she put it up and he has nothing to do with it. In a statement, she said in part, quote, I made this one playing both on my Cuban background and new needed change in federal immigration enforcement. My parents were legal immigrants and I have plenty of immigrants throughout my family, end quote. One Mobile resident who wants to remain anonymous, though, doesn't like the display.
Elected officials, just like all of us, have the freedoms of speech. That's what makes our country great, is our freedoms. However, elected officials set the tone for our city. And the tone that sets is one of disrespect, it's racism, it's racial profiling.
While some aren't fans of what Michelle Burch says is tongue-in-cheek Halloween decorations, others like Tim Turner say, quote, I think it's great. That's his property. Him or his wife should do whatever they want on their property. Michelle Burch said she will be making a new display shortly and adds they have no shortage of topics to cover. In the meantime, a federal judge in Mobile denying a California man's request to get out of jail while awaiting sentencing in a drug and money laundering case in Alabama. Mohammed Zohair Adi pleaded guilty in 2023 to conspiracy to commit money laundering. Adi had been under house arrest at his home near Sacramento, but his bond was revoked after a judge ruled he had improper contact with a co-defendant. Adi has been at Mobile County Metro Jail since October 1st. His sentencing is scheduled for November 17th. Well, a mass shooting that took place in Montgomery over the weekend that left 2 people dead and 12 injured is now top of mind for many in the capital city, including lawmakers. Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro has more on the top question lawmakers are trying to answer.
They're trying to figure out where we go from here. Everyone's got their own ideas, but some of the general themes that are being brought up are law enforcement's role in prevention and reaction and how to address the culture of the city and make sure that it's one that values human life.
This crime cannot be condoned, and we've got to continue to protect the safety of citizens of Alabama.
Governor Kay Ivey says following Saturday night's mass shooting in the capital city, more state law enforcement will patrol Montgomery's downtown to try to prevent crime. She said she's not planning on calling on federal troops or other national intervention.
We're working to find solutions, and we'll keep focused on finding solutions.
Democratic Representative Kenyatta Hassel, who represents part of Montgomery, says he wants to see a repeal of Alabama's open carry laws. He says it would reduce the number of weapons in the hands of the wrong people and would help law enforcement.
The community can help be more preventive, getting them involved, and we just gotta give them a chance to stop some of these guns that's involved or getting in the wrong hands.
But he also said change will come with a change of culture towards law enforcement and towards one another.
Now is the time to unify. Now is the time. It's not pointing fingers at nobody. not putting blame on anybody.
In the past few weeks, we have also heard state lawmakers talk about bills that would look to make the city safer in terms of political safety, in addition to that general goal of keeping Montgomery residents and visitors safe. We'll be following that discussion closely in the upcoming legislative session.
Anyone with any information that could help with the investigation is encouraged to call Central Alabama Crime Stoppers at 334-215-STOP. Well, listen to this. Those with recent felony charges in Alabama will no longer be able to carry guns. A new law bans people from having firearms if they've been convicted of any felony within the past 5 years. And this is regardless of whether they were convicted in Alabama or not. The law also applies to those who have committed 3 or more felonies. Also included in this new law, stiffer penalties for committing crimes that involve a gun. Henry County Sheriff Eric Blankenship believes that enhancing these laws will help limit dangerous situations.
Give us a lot more strength, and it helps our citizens. It helps keep everybody safe. So, we're trying to take a proactive approach of informing everybody and letting them know, like the days of just riding around with a gun in your car and everything else, if you were doing something, is fixing to get you into a whole lot of trouble.
Now, this law went into effect on October 1st. It's a crime that lurks in the shadows, child pornography. But Mobile County's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, or ICAC, is always watching, hunting predators, tracking them down, and eventually taking them off the streets. In a Fox 10 News exclusive, I go behind the scenes with investigators in this 2-part series, Shadows to Shackles. I was there as Mobile County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man accused of trading child sexual abuse material. Every step was caught on camera. This is just one example of how the ICAC works daily to protect our children. Each tip a chance to stop a predator before they strike.
Know what your kids are doing. Don't just let them have, complete access all the time by themselves, and at night take the phones away. They need to go through their phones every day, look at the pictures that they're taking, who are they talking to.
The 3-member team behind these tough cases reveal how artificial intelligence is now fueling the creation of CSAM and how they're adapting to fight back. Part 1 of Shadows to Shackles airs tonight on Fox 10 News at 9. We look forward to sharing this story. And coming up, we have a recap of all the anticipated walk and roll to school day in Baldwin County. But before we go, Nick, it was a nice morning for that, just a little muggy.
Yeah, there's a lot of humidity out there. By the way, looking down at the beach right now, it feels like 92 degrees already. This is the observation. You can see blue sky there and a couple of distant clouds. You will be dealing with a moderate risk of rip currents today. More on your forecast coming up.
Welcome back in. Today marks day 8 of the U.S. government shutdown. The standoff centers on federal spending and health care subsidies, with neither side showing signs of compromise. Now, here to explain what this means for everyday families is Chris Burns with Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors. Chris, it's good to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously there can be a lot of fear centered on this topic right now. What does this mean for the everyday family in our community?
For the everyday family, right, if you're not currently working in some type of government position, right, or working for the government, you're still receiving your paycheck, but where you're probably seeing some disruption is inside your investment portfolios.
Gotcha. And what does this mean specifically for retirees then?
So for retirees, right, especially the ones that are using their portfolios for income, they may see some short-term fluctuations. Another big thing that people are seeing or concerned about, right, is, hey, right now they're still receiving their Social Security and Medicare benefits. Is that potentially something that can slow down or get paused the longer the shutdown goes on? That's the big fear for retirees.
Gotcha. And what about someone who's planning to retire during this time? What should they be aware of?
So I would not pause my retirement planning just because we're shut down. We've been shut down in the past. It's going to happen again, unfortunately, right? But one of the big things is whenever there's periods of market disruption is a really good time to take a look at your accounts and see what your accounts are doing. Because if you would say, hey, these accounts are moving a lot more than I should, well, then maybe sitting down with someone to kind of figure out that and the risk associated with it could probably ease some of those fears.
Some really good advice there. What about health care, though? Because this really seems to be at the heart of this debate.
Absolutely. So one of the things is removing those subsidies for the Affordable Health Care Act, right? And so one of the things that people can potentially see with that is that an increase in their healthcare premiums, right? And that's not just retirees, that could be individuals like yourself and I who may go to the marketplace to shop their plans themselves. And so, yes, there's two sides to it, right? They're certainly wanting, Republicans are wanting to remove people who aren't U.S. citizens from being able to access that, but then also on the other side, they're wanting to make sure that people like yourself and I still have access to it. So when it comes to planning, that could potentially be an increase in healthcare cost that retirees or just people like yourself could see.
Really good to know for sure. And, finally, for those who might be watching or wanting to retire in the next 6 to 12 months, how should they start planning now, even in the midst of a shutdown?
Absolutely. Every time you have me on here, you ask me some kind of question like that, and I'm going to give you the same answer every time. You need to have a plan, right? Not the plan is, hey, I'm retiring at 65. Good. You've got a date in mind. You've got an age in mind. How are you going to do it? Where the income's going to come from? What are your current expenses now? What's that going to look like in the future, especially when you add inflation to it? And then right now you're seeing, hey, we potentially may see an increase in our healthcare costs. Why not factor that into a plan and see, is that something your plan can weather in the future?
This can obviously be overwhelming for the average everyday person. How can you guys play a role in helping these people?
So we are a really great second opinion for people who are currently working with advisors or even working with themselves. We're able to kind of say, hey, let's take a look at everything that you're doing, right? And then try to poke some holes in it. And then if there are holes, how do we fix that? So not if, but when life throws you a curveball, you've already have something in place to help kind of weather that storm.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you for all of that great advice there. Just a really timely conversation right now. If this piques your interest, you want to learn more about Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors, you can head on over to our website. That's fox10tv.com. Chris, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
A live look at Pensacola Beach, where we have a moderate risk of rip currents today in lovely blue sky. That is a fantastic picture there. A few folks out there getting to enjoy the water. That water temperature is right around 80 degrees. I think that's a nice day down at the beach. You know what? It feels like a day to be down at the beach. It's hot. I mean, really quite hot this afternoon. We're forecasting afternoon temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees, 85 down at Gulf Shores, 86 Navarre, and 85 in Destin. Those are some really high numbers, of course, well above average, but we do see some changes in the long range forecast. So if you're planning anything this afternoon, get ready to sweat. You have humid conditions and temperatures in the 80s. There is a very small chance of a sprinkle or two, but the rain chances are not super high today. Again, rip current risk medium today. There's chance for showers and thunderstorms on Thursday as well. 85 degrees down at the beach with a medium risk of rip currents. Then a high risk of rip currents coming in on Friday. The surf around 3 to 4 feet. So what's going on here? We are south of a cold front right now. So we are on the warm side of things. It is warm, it is humid, and we have enough moisture to squeeze out a few showers. This is what it looks like around 6:30 on Wednesday from the HRRR forecast model. You can see some locations showing a couple of showers here. Overnight, a quiet night with a few clouds around. Then on Thursday, another chance of showers and thunderstorms as the front is rolling through, and maybe even after. It looks like we could get a little impulse that tries to develop in the afternoon time. Here's 4 p.m. Notice much of the Fox 10 viewing area is clear, but then later on, showers and thunderstorms pop up there. This is 7 o'clock on Thursday. If you have evening plans, the forecast model has been pretty consistent in this, so I'm calling around a 30 to 40% chance of rain on Thursday. By Friday morning, changes begin to occur and drier air begins to work into the Fox 10 viewing area. So here's your muggy meter. You can see the difference. We're muggy through Thursday, then the front passes. Friday, drier air works its way in here, and dew points in the pleasant category in the days ahead. As I mentioned, we're on the warm side of the boundary now. To the north, there is some drier and cooler air, just taking its time to get all the way down here. The muggy meter dew points getting down into the 40s for our area. That means the dew points in the 40s, very dry air that lasts into the weekend. Your forecast highs will drop into the low 80s, with some folks staying in the upper 70s on Friday and Saturday afternoon. Your morning temperatures in the 50s, 58, 59 degrees there, so a nice forecast. Hey, quick check out the tropics before we go. This is what it looks like. Jerry is the name that we have on the list right now. This storm, tropical storm right now, going to become a hurricane and head out to see. So good news there. Here's that 7-day forecast. Hey, sunny skies expected after the cold front passes, and that lasts all the way into early next week.
Looking forward to it. Should be a beautiful weekend, Nick. Thank you. It's a Baldwin County tradition, and once again, students, parents, and staff spent the morning walking and rolling to school. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has more from the big day in Daphne.
The Daphne Civic Center was the starting point for this year's Walk and Roll to School Day. Students, teachers, and parents took the short walk to Daphne Elementary, all to promote building healthier habits, creating safer streets, and strengthening community connections.
This is open up to our community, so we're wanting to send the message of it takes a village to raise all these students and children, and we just wanted to get together and provide an opportunity to walk through our community to school.
And the students love it, especially one little girl who also participated last year.
I done it in first grade. Really fun because I saw lots of my friends.
And for the parents, they couldn't pass up the opportunity for a little more bonding time with their kids.
Kids love to, have a, guardian, parent, just anybody being there for them for support. So anytime, something like this happens, it's good to be a part of. With everything goes on in this world, you don't get opportunities like this. So when you get them, take them.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Lots of fun out there, Stephen. Thank you. Plenty of schools participated, like Fairhope Elementary and Bay Minette Elementary as well. It's 11:23 on your Wednesday, and coming up, with uncertainty rising over the government shutdown, many may be looking to pull their Social Security early. Financial experts are telling us why that might not be a good idea. Those stories and much more coming up on Fox 10 Midday after the break. Welcome back. Fears that Social Security is running out of money have some beneficiaries rushing to claim early. But experts say that panic might cost you in the long run. In today's Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman speaks with an advisor about why it can pay to wait.
We all contribute to it with every paycheck, Social Security, but questions about the program's funding and future have people worried.
The truth of the matter is no politician is going to let Social Security fail, and so you shouldn't be scared into it because it's a mistake that will be with you for the rest of your life.
Robert Brokamp, senior advisor at the Motley Fool, says don't let fear push you into claiming benefits early.
You've worked for it, right? You've earned it. Why should you hold off on it?
Well, when you claim Social Security is up to you. You can do it as soon as 62, or you can wait until age 70. And for every year you delay, your benefit will go up anywhere from 5 to 8% depending on your age. So if you can delay taking Social Security, you're going to create a bigger foundation of safe income that adjusts for inflation every year and is partially tax-free.
Brokamp says there are a few reasons to delay. One is to avoid losing benefits if you're still working.
But for most people who are working, their full retirement age is 67. If you claim Social Security before that and you're still earning income, you could have to give back some of your benefits.
Another benefit to waiting, you lock in a higher monthly payment and get an extra boost from inflation adjustments.
The cost of living adjustment is actually applied to your future benefit as well. So you may hear that, if I delay Social Security, my benefit will get bigger 5 to 8% per year, but it's actually better than that. It's 5 to 8% plus inflation.
Brokamp notes some people, particularly those with health issues or in a financial pinch, may need to start early. But if you can, holding off can pay off. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
Well, coming up, October is Safe Sleep and Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Awareness Month. We have some information for you on how you can keep your children safe while resting. And college football is nearly a wrap for the regular season. We have a full preview of some big matchups with the Alabama Crimson Tide and Auburn Tigers. But before we go, let's check in with Nick.
The weekend football watching weather looks pretty good. We'll have temperatures that are in the low 80s, actually starting to feel a little bit like October there. Nice temperatures in the morning as well. We'll have more on your forecast coming up.
The most dangerous place for your child might be in your car. That's because statistics show most car seats are not installed correctly. That means your child could be at risk, but Fox 10 is committed to your family's safety. Mark your calendars. We are hosting a free car seat check-in in November. It's Thursday, November 6th from 7 in the morning until 11 a.m. And it's all happening right here at the Fox 10 studios on Satchel Paige Drive next to Hank Aaron Stadium. Just pull your car into our parking lot and licensed car seat technicians will take a look at your car seats and fix any problems they may find. Well, October is Safe Sleep and Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Awareness Month. Unsafe sleep environments are a leading cause of death for young children, but experts say 3 simple things can reduce a sleeping baby's risk. It's called the ABCs of sleep. A is for alone. Babies should always sleep by themselves in their crib or bassinet. B stands for back. An infant should also be placed flat on their back on a firm surface. And finally, C is for clear. The crib should be void of blankets, toys, bumper pads, or any other items. Experts say it's also critical to always check that there haven't been any recalls on baby nursery products that you've purchased, including secondhand items. And you can do that by checking the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission's website at cpsc.gov/recalls. Well, listen to this. Thousands of kids in Florida don't have health insurance, despite a state law saying they should. Florida Capitol Bureau reporter Cody Butler is at the Capitol to explain how this happened.
Lawmakers unanimously approved expanding state-subsidized health insurance eligibility for kids back in 2023. But as state lawmakers found out on Tuesday, people that fit that new eligibility requirements aren't enrolled.
We are essentially being held hostage on implementation.
State senators in both parties were visibly disappointed after Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration told them the expansion to the Kids Care program approved in 2023 hasn't happened.
Certainly when the legislature, passes a bill, we anticipate that that bill will be able to be implemented.
Kids Care covers children whose families earn too much for Medicaid. Right now, families earning 215% of the federal poverty level, that's a little more than $64,000 a year for a family of 4, can get the state subsidized insurance. The expansion bumps that up to 300% above the poverty level, or $90,000 a year for a family of 4.
Providing greater, more care for more children across the state of Florida.
ACA Deputy Secretary Brian Myers says a federal lawsuit is blocking the expansion. The lawsuit involves families kicked out for not paying premiums.
Regardless of the administration, we're hopeful that we can get to a place, with the current administration that will enable implementation of the program.
But healthcare advocates like Melanie Williams at the Florida Health Justice Project says the state doesn't need to wait.
I think it's an administrative thing, right? Like they have the power, they said that they already kind of laid out the tiers and the guidelines that they need to implement this rule change.
Senators still have questions.
I asked the question, how many children are not getting coverage here in the state? We didn't get an answer. I would very much like to hear that answer.
Senate Minority Leader Lori Berman says this isn't a partisan issue.
Don't care who is in charge in Washington. I want to make sure that the children of Florida get coverage under Kid Care.
State lawmakers say that they're willing to work on anything that will get implementation done sooner. At the state capitol, I'm Cody Butler reporting.
Tales have a way of growing over time. In our new episode of Unwritten Legends, available exclusively on the Fox 10 Gulfstream, we look into Ghost, a police horse who is now retired by way of the Mobile Police Department mounted unit.
When I first saw Ghost, God said Ghost was a gorgeous animal. He was a beautiful horse. He was nice sized and good for what we needed him for, and I just love seeing him. Ghost had its quirks. Every horse is just like a human. They have their own personality. I was fortunate enough to take him out on his first ride for Mardi Gras. And when he saw a float, he threw them ears up and he looked up at it and he was like, I don't know what the world that is. The first night he did okay, and he got progressively better, of course, as he saw the floats and crowds more and more.
How fun is that? Unwritten Legends of the Gulf Coast are available for free again on the Fox 10 Gulfstream. Just download the app on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple, or Android TV.
That's what it looks like outside right now in Fairhope Pier Very nice day. Actually, lots of sunshine out there. We'll have a couple clouds around later today, but this is a nice picture. Very warm today, almost feeling like kind of a late summer day with temperatures in the upper 80s and a little bit of a heat index. So we have a rain chance today. It's around 30%, not very high at all. We'll keep another rain chance for Thursday before a front rolls its way across the area and helps us out with bringing some drier air for the weekend. Here's the cloud cover, very thin cloud cover, I think, that we see through the day today. Otherwise, it is partly sunny. You can see a couple showers that try to develop here. Then in the evening time, you break that up, and then Thursday, it looks like it is going to be a partly sunny day with a couple of showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon and evening time. This is a front is working its way across the area. It clears us out by the Friday, the nighttime hours, and then Friday morning we are drier. So here's your forecast this afternoon. 89 degrees in Leakesville, 88 in Lucedale, 89 Van Cleve, 87 in Pascagoula. Our inlet spots very warm today. 87 Grove Hill, 86 Thomasville, 88 in Jackson, 88 Monroeville, 89 in Bruton. Hot numbers there, a hot day ahead for the Gulf Coast, 88 degrees in Mobile and 86 in Fairhope. If you're down at the beach, medium risk of rip currents and temperatures in the middle 80s, 85 Perdido Key, 87 in Pensacola. So hot numbers there. This is what it looks like right now in Pensacola. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. I think we'll keep that around over the next few hours. No major rain issues. The rain chance is staying pretty low. Right now it's 84 degrees at Gulf Shores International Airport with a feels like temperature of 92 degrees. Very warm. That medium risk of rip currents, as I mentioned, continues through Thursday. Then Friday, a high risk of rip currents. So here's the big picture. The front is positioned off to our north, and north of it, it is drier air. South of it, it is very warm and very muggy air. So you actually have a couple bands of clouds passing through here. This front will push down, and we have that rain chance through about Thursday. Then the drier air moves in, and this is going to be a really nice weekend if you have plans to watch maybe football or something. It's just going to be nice. You could watch it outside, TV outside. I think that would be a nice setup because it's going to be so comfortable with your temperatures. Look at the temperatures for Sunday morning. 53 in Grove Hill, 52 in Monroeville, 52 in Evergreen. Those are really cool numbers. 58 in Mobile. So maybe a light jacket needed there. Your 10-day outlook. We do see temperatures that get warmer once again. At the end of next week, we're back in the upper 80s. So October kind of briefly appears and then goes away once again, but it will be mostly sunny all the way through the week next week. A nice forecast then.
There are two big factors in playing a sport. There's the obvious physical factor. You need to train in order to be in shape and play the sport. But there's also the mental factor. Alabama wide receiver Ryan Williams has dropped a few passes this season and says the drops were 1,000% due to mental errors. He also says there isn't a complicated answer for what he needs to do in order to fix the problem.
Really just continuing to, stay on the jugs machine, continue to do the extra stuff, catching rugby balls, tennis balls, just focusing in on the ball and not the next move, like I said, because, trying to be the receiver that I want to be, I have to catch the ball before I can do all the extra stuff.
And despite the drops, Williams is still having a great season with 21 catches for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Alabama is on the road at Missouri Saturday for an 11 a.m. kick. Whenever a team loses, the next game is a chance for redemption. Auburn has a really big opportunity to respond this Saturday night against 10th-ranked Georgia. Despite dropping their first 2 SEC games, a bright spot has been the defense, which has allowed just 40 points combined in those 2 conference games. With the next 2 SEC matchups coming at home, this is a crucial moment for the Tigers defense to keep their opponents in check. And for the offense, it's a chance to prove they can complete drives and deliver the wins Auburn needs.
It means a lot. It's different, it's special. We kind of got advantage at home. Our crowd is different. The atmosphere is different. So we're getting ready to go out here and push each other to work hard and go out here and dominate.
We're excited to play anybody. If the Packers come in here, like Coach Freeze said, man, we gonna play them too. We love competition. It's a great rivalry, so we just can't wait to get at it.
And it's a 6:30 p.m. kickoff inside Jordan-Hare Stadium on Saturday night. Still to come, Domino's is giving its brand a new look in the hopes of attracting some new consumers. And have you listened to Taylor Swift's new album? Well, it's receiving some mixed criticism. We'll have that and much more coming up in our Midday Talkers. All right, welcome back in. Domino's Pizza is serving up a brand new look.
The popular pizza brand is launching a major makeover today.
Yeah, that includes a new logo, brighter colors, new uniforms, and redesigned pizza boxes.
Relaunch comes also with a brand new jingle performed by country artist Shabuzi.
Okay, executives say the changes are designed to grab attention on social media.
Domino's says the rebrand will expand to markets around the world starting in November. I really like the look.
Yeah,
that they are going with.
It's
that
very
apron's
clean.
so cool.
Yeah, it's very clean, bold colors. I don't remember when this was, but Domino's also kind of did a revamp of their menu too, because folks didn't love their food at some point in time, and so it's cool to see that, you know, they're making everything better. Papa John's is still my favorite pizza, but
I feel like I've gone to Domino's. Well, I don't go get pizza like this very often, but if I have an event and I need a few pizzas, I think Domino's is the place that I've gone most recently.
Okay.
Actually, you can actually see in the corner the color palette that they use there. Very this is a nice branding thing. I love the Domino boxes. That's just cool.
It is cool. Notice the 3 M's.
Yes.
Domino's.
Yes.
That's new as well.
All right, a school preparing some actors for the spooky season.
Okay, Erebus Haunted Attraction in Pontiac, Michigan recruits new actors each year who are looking to provide the highest level of horror at the haunted house.
New employees train at the Scare School in hopes of terrifying customers so that they head for early exits.
Yeah, this is really scary on our screen right now. The owners say the school teaches actors how to be as scary as possible while also doing it safely.
Erebus Haunted Attraction is open until November 2nd. This is a tough thing to do as an actor because it is a live interaction with somebody.
This is pretty neat, though, that they receive that training. Yeah, I can't do scary anything. No thanks.
The training, though, is definitely something that's needed because,
for sure.
Oh my goodness. Next.
All right, next story. A group of children from Chicago who took part in a mock conclave that went viral online showed up at the Pope's weekly audience dressed in their red cardinal outfits.
At the end of the audience on Wednesday, Pope Leo rushed over to greet them and take a photo with them.
So sweet. The kids are part of a pilgrimage group of about 80 people from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church and Academy in Chicago.
Pope Leo, formerly Robert Prevost, was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I bet that was an experience for them to go through a mock conclave.
Yeah. Have you seen this video that went viral with them?
No, I
haven't
not.
either. I want to look it up.
I actually do want to look that up because
I'm curious.
That would be an interesting experience. All right, let's move on to the next story here. The life of a showgirl apparently includes handling with criticism with grace.
Yeah, Taylor Swift seems to be unbothered, though, by the mixed reception of her new album.
Yeah, the singer-songwriter, she wrote, she welcomes the chaos when it comes to fans and listeners and how they feel about their music.
Yeah, and she said that includes the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Swift made the comments on Zane Lowe's show for Apple Music on Tuesday.
And she added that anyone saying her name or album title in the first week of an album release is all helping her out.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that we have discussed. I had feelings on the album. Everybody has had feelings on the album, but we are still talking about it. And I think some people, my characterization was okay, I was slightly underwhelmed from what I was expecting based on the Life of the Showgirl title.
Yeah.
But it's still Taylor Swift, and it is still a well-written. The songwriting and the lyricism is, of course, top-notch.
Yeah.
So
I will say I did see her respond online, and I love that she said, you know, it's art. People have the freedom to critique art. I'm not the top artist, and I love how she views her music as an art form. Pretty cool.
And you never know how her art will be interpreted in the future as well.
Absolutely. All right, 11:50 now. We'll be right back here with 3 to Know. Before you go, we're taking a live look where?
Dauphin Island, a lovely day there. Lots of blue sky. We're going to have some upper level clouds filtering through later today, but it should be a nice but hot day out there. I'll have another look at that forecast and some cooler air coming your way. That's coming up.
If this one doesn't melt your heart, nothing will. In Florida, a happy ending after tense moments as a deputy is led directly to the location of a missing elderly woman by the loyal dog she was walking. Jeremy Roth has this sweet story in today's Take a Look at This.
This is the story of Eeyore, a heroic dog in Florida that led a sheriff's deputy directly to an injured woman gone missing. Okaloosa County Deputy Devin Miller responded to a report of an elderly woman who didn't return from a walk with her son's dog in a Destin neighborhood.
She never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes, it's almost an hour and a half.
After interviewing the woman's distraught husband, Deputy Miller began searching the area and soon
There's the dog.
Spotted the dog, named Eeyore. Yep, just like the perpetually depressed donkey from Winnie the Pooh. But whereas that Eeyore likely would have shrugged and said, "Why bother?" this Eeyore went above and beyond.
Tell me where Mama is.
Leading the deputy from her vehicle directly to the spot where the missing 86-year-old woman had fallen on a sidewalk. She was unable to get up, but alert, and couldn't believe how the deputy had found her.
He wouldn't believe. He kept coming back to me. I'm not even his owner. I'm his grandmother.
The deputy called EMS and got the woman the help she needed, all thanks to the heroics of one very sweet and very loyal pupster.
Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you.
Ask anyone in law enforcement and they'll likely tell you policing a community effectively is a delicate dance. Case in point, check out the moves on this Tulsa, Oklahoma officer who was responding to a noise complaint of loud music from a gathering. The officer did issue a citation, but before leaving, got into the groove himself. The department later said the people out there appreciated his style and also agreed to turn the music down. It just goes to show that Gloria Estefan was right. Eventually, the rhythm is going to get you. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
He did
Well,
just like
good.
I do, for sure.
All right, we're going to quickly go through the forecast here. I want to show you a couple things. Front, south of the front, it is warm. North of the front, it is cooler. That front comes our way on Thursday. So look what happens here. We have a chance of a couple showers this afternoon. The rain chance is pretty low, quite frankly. Then on Thursday, we have a mostly sunny, partly sunny sky with some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms very possible there. Rain coverage pretty high on that forecast model, so keep that in mind. Then, it's going to be quite nice here. We have temperatures in the low 80s with some upper 70s in our inland spots Friday and Saturday. Morning temperatures in the 50s, so cool, almost crisp in our inland spots. Eventually, though, in that 10-day outlook, we do see temperatures going back up again into the upper 80s by the end of next week. So it is a shorter-ish lived cool spell, but it is a cool spell, the first one we've really had this year.
I've been waiting on it. I feel like this time last year it was a little cooler because
Yes.
I had a picture pop up on my phone and I was in a coat and pants.
Yeah, we
and
are
boots.
not in coat, pants.
Very disrespectful
I mean,
of this weather.
we might get like a light jacket. I mean, it depends. Like, a lot of people with temperatures in the 50s,
Sure.
it's like, okay, how cold is that for
Yeah.
you? You know,
Right.
I'm going to be wearing shorts and a sweater.
Oh, I know. That's your look.
Yes.
That's Nick's go-to.
Yes.
Outside of the news, for sure. Well, that's a wrap for Fox 10 Midday. Don't worry, you'll get to see more of us on Fox 10 Live at 3.
right.
It doesn't end here. Thanks for sticking around with us. We'll see you in just a few hours. Enjoy your Wednesday.